Welcome to the Data Centered Leadership Podcast. Today we have a highly distinguished and exciting guest. His name is Pawel Skrzypek. He's the Chief Technology Officer of AI Investments Limited, where he has developed a machine learning trading system with a significant edge. He's also a Chief Multi-Cloud Architect for Melodic, an open source multi-cloud software company. Pawel and I met at the Data Science Go conference this year, where you gave an exciting presentation on applying the latest research in AI to active investments. So I just really was excited and wanted to speak with you some more. So Pawel, thank you so much for taking the time to interview and come and speak with us.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the invitation.
So first I'd like to ask you what is it like working on open source software, and how did you get to working on open source software at a professional level?
Yeah, I think that currently open source is, let's say, standard even for the enterprises, and the most advanced technologies, especially in big data and artificial intelligence, are open source, and there are no commercial solutions, or there are no meaningful for the whole ecosystem. Especially it is visible in the artificial intelligence, TensorFlow, PyTorch, Keras, any other frameworks are open sources, and very similar situation is for the multi-cloud, Kubernetes, OpenStack, Docker, everything is open sourced. Of course, there are also enterprise versions with the support for the big companies, but the core software is open source. So we are working for the Melodic project as open source. It is supported by the Horizon 2020 program, which promotes the research in Europe, and we have created cutting-edge multi-cloud technology for the optimization of the deployment, and I'm pretty sure that it's a very unique software on the worldwide scale, because it allows dynamic optimization of the multi-cloud resources.
Wow.
Yeah, but my presentation on the Data Science Go was rather focused on the AI investments, our second project, using the AI for the active investments, for active invest. But AI investment platform also uses Melodic for the multi-cloud deployment and optimization, and have really significant savings, around the 60%. We have published a scientific paper related to that, and show that savings. So it is a very unique and very beneficial synergy between these two projects.
Are you saying that you can not only make money with the AI investment technology that you've created, but you also save money on the cloud computation approach by switching between the different cloud providers?
Yes,
Wow.
because the AI investments requires very high computational power to train all models and to make a prediction and so on. So using Melodic, we could optimize the resources. So the cost of doing that are less, about the 60% comparing to the, let's say, AWS only or so on. So it's a very huge benefits, especially for the startup company, which doesn't have the unlimited resources. And for us, it's a perfect synergy of these two projects.
Wow, that is amazing.
Thank you.
So I mean, with the achievements that you're creating, it's clear that it's the work you're doing is very exciting. But I would like to ask you specifically, what excites you most about software development and cloud software architecture?
Yeah, from my point of view, the most exciting thing is that we are living in the very, very interesting time. Yeah, now it's a technology breakout in many, many areas, both in the cloud computing. Yeah, the biggest cloud provider, AWS, is exists no longer for the like 15 years and so on. So it's a very huge company created from the scratch, which takes over the cloud computing business. And the same situation is for the artificial intelligence. This AlphaGo approach by DeepMind, image recognitions, autonomous driving, and many, many more. It is just the beginning. I really believe that we are at the beginning of the road of the developing of artificial intelligence, and it looks that there are many more many more opportunities to use that solutions for very different areas of human life. And as I said, we are at the very beginning of the road. The advancement is really amazing. Most of the people can't believe 2 years ago that, for example, it would be possible to win with human in Go by the computer system, but it was a fact. But I'm pretty sure that it is just the beginning of the road. So that's the
Yes,
really exciting time.
it is an exciting time. And you're at the forefront of it.
Thank you.
So how did you transition from being a leading software developer to a leading creator of AI systems? What type of research or skill development practices did you need to use to make this transition?
Yeah, I think that from my point of view, the key element of transition or key catalyzation of the transition was
Mm-hmm.
to start participating in the Melodic project. It is a research project. It's not only software development, but research project. I have opportunity to work with the many scientists and researchers in Europe. And thanks to that, it was possible for me to start dig into the scientific and research part, start reading the paper, writing the paper, and so on. And I see that it is possible. Yeah, so it's not let's say some magic, but it is possible to move from the software development to the research and scientific work, and it's extremely beneficial also for the business area, because thanks to the experience and ability to use the latest research advancement in the real business problem,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a very unique opportunity.
So are you saying that you were for you the research, getting into the research is even more exciting since you already are experienced in business? You can see many more applications of these cutting edge
Yes.
technologies.
Yes. That's the thing which is still surprising me, because there are many very interesting research ideas. There are many papers with really brilliant ideas. Of course, there are also many papers with not so brilliant ideas, but some of the ideas by the very intelligent people are really brilliant. So, and I clearly see that usage of that ideas for the business, solving business problems could, and even more, it get the real benefits.
Exciting. So what experiences would you say helped you to grow to where you are now?
Yeah, I think that the one experience which is very beneficial is the previous experience in the developing and designing the IT systems and working with the business. So I could understand what are the demand and requirements from the business side. And the second one, very important from my AI investments project, is my knowledge about the investing process and experience in the investing. So I think that these two were crucial. And the third one is this experience with the research in the Melodic project.
Nice. So you mentioned investing experience. I didn't realize that you were involved in investing before this project. When I looked at your background, is this something where you turned a hobby into a passion, like a passion project?
It was a passion, but on the other hand, I also certified stockbroker here in Poland. So I have the license similar to the CFA license in Poland. So it's a passion, but I treat it very seriously and professionally.
Wow. So you've been for many years then you've been doing business and software development with great success. Business, software development, and stockbroker. You're attacking your career from multiple angles.
That was for the long time. It was let's say two streams in my career, but now it looks that everything comes together, and I have very good synergy on that.
Amazing. Wow, thank you. Thank you for sharing. That's an exciting story, an exciting journey. I'm happy to be able to speak with you now that your two streams are converging into this great synergy. So more now getting into the details a little bit more, in your presentation at Data Science Go, you mentioned the application of cutting edge Google AI research towards the stock market analysis, specifically using AlphaZero and AlphaGo towards predicting the stock patterns and making investment decisions. So I wanted to ask you, what search method or news source do you use to keep up with the latest AI advancements?
As I said, from my point of view, there is published a lot of brilliant ideas, especially this AlphaZero and AlphaGo methods by the DeepMind. So from my perspective, the most important thing is to continuously monitor the, let's say, most recognizable authors and research centers like DeepMind, and to be aware of their work, especially the published work. For example, DeepMind in the previous week published the AlphaStar approach. So it's a next evolution step comparing to the AlphaZero, and changes the architecture completely. It's a completely different architecture. So we are just now studying their paper about the AlphaStar and trying to apply it to the investments. But I think that it requires a lot of hard work, because you need to read a lot of papers, and you need to stay open mind. So because usually it is not just one-to-one application of the paper, you need to think rather what elements are interesting from that paper and how it could be applied to my method. Because of course it is not possible to just take the AlphaZero and apply to the investments, because it's a completely different problem. But you need to identify the similarities. And for example, the similarities are the probabilistic space of the different solutions. This probabilistic space exists in Go, because there are many possible future moves, and the same and similar approach exists in the investments, yeah, because the markets are stochastic, so there are many possible outcomes which needs to be identified. The probability needs to be measured, and the most profitable and less risk scenario should be selected.
Wow, amazing! It sounds like you've had to apply quite a bit of hard work and creativity to this development.
Yeah, you are right. But it's probably the sign of our time. Yeah, the combination of the hard work and creativity. The most valuable companies are the most creative one.
Yeah. Absolutely. So besides hard work and creativity, do you have any general tips for people who would like to apply some neural network model to their own unique problem?
Yeah, I think that the most general tip is to, because maybe rather two most important tips. One is to have a strict methodology for the building the neural network, especially for the preparing the data training and validation and test set, to have the strict methodology for doing the experiments and gathering the results, because it's not just a one shot, one model, and you have a very good results. It's many models, many experiments, and you need to track these experiments in the very rigorous manner and to analyze the outcome, trying to find the way to improve that. So that's the first, let's say, the most rigorous tips. And the second is to be open-minded, yeah, to read a lot of papers, to be up to date with the latest research topics, to read a lot and to try to identify what to use to improve my model, yeah, but knowing what to use to improve the model requires to know what is wrong with my model, yeah, what is the bottlenecks, what causes bad results, and so on. So it should be made jointly, yeah. So you should keep track of your results and experiments, try to analyze that and identify the weakness, and on the other hand, try to read the papers, especially in the direction of the identified weakness, and try to apply this to your process and your models. But if you want to get a good results in machine learning and data science, it definitely requires the strict and rigorous approach and to treat it seriously. Yeah, it's not just let's make a model and see the results, because it usually do not work that way, but it requires a lot more effort and so on.
That's a very valuable advice. Thank you for that.
Sure.
Speaking of taking a scientific approach, I noticed that somebody at the Data Science Go conference presented a methodology or a system like Git for tracking models. Do you go to the extreme of using a system like that, or do you use like a journal, or like a note text file?
Yeah, we are currently evaluating two systems for doing that, and we are using our own system for tracking that. But if the evaluated systems would be better than our system, we are evaluating the Comet ML and Neptune ML system. And on the other hand, we have our own, let's say, built system to keep tracking the experiments, and we will see which one will be better and which should be kept for future use.
Nice, thank you for sharing. So I think we're nearing the end of our interview. One final question I would like to ask you. So you have mentioned some of the things you see for AI, that you see that we're only at the beginning and there are many different advancements that AI can be applied to. Um, so I just wanted to ask if you see some trends in the research right now and going into the near future, and what you think about those AI advancements and their impact on the future.
Yeah, I think that, at least from my perspective, the two most important trends are the more advanced architecture of neural networks, with the example of the transformer, which is really breakout and really interesting architecture, and got very good results on the NLP problems. And the second one is the advancement in using the reinforcement learning, especially this multi-agent cooperations, which is introduced by the DeepMind in the Alpha Star and in many papers by DeepMind. So from my perspective, these two advancements and then trends are very important, but there are also many other trends, for example, in the computer vision and object identification, but it's not maybe my exact area of interest. So from my perspective, these two advancements are the most important one.
Oh, thank you. I'm going to look into those. I'm going to research those. Those sound very interesting. Transformers.
Yeah, that's the amazing architecture. They completely changed the approach for the neural networks, and build on feed-forward only network with the many attentions layers and attentions approaches, and it generates great results on the NLP problems, but also for the time series forecasting is very useful. And yeah, DeepMind with the Alpha Star, from my point of view, it's a state-of-the-art of the reinforcement learning application.
Wow. So thank you so much, Pawel, for taking the time to interview. Is there any call to action you'd like to give to our viewers, or any information you'd like to share with the audience?
Yeah, maybe I would only say that we are about to publish some interesting things related to our advance on our page, so aiinvestments.pl. So we plan to publish some interesting our own research based on the approach presented by the DeepMind on the very low scale comparing to the DeepMind, but I hope that it could be very interesting. So if someone is interested in the time series predictions or the using the machine learning for advanced optimization, I'm pretty sure that we also provide some valuable information there.
Wow, exciting. Thank you for sharing. And thank you so much, Pawel, for taking the time to interview.
Thank you for this opportunity to make interview. Thank you very much.
Have a great day. Bye.
Same for you. Bye.